All right, third time's a charm, maybe.
Well, I just drove quickly, it's like an hour and a half each way, to Gary, Indiana, and I picked up an auxiliary tank for our cabin. You know, one of the times we were there, and it was one of our demo trips, it was warm out. We had, I don't know, 7 guys there for 8 days, and Mike had been there for, 2 or 3 days before us painting. And everybody was extra dirty from the demo, moldy, insulation-filled clothes. So a lot of showers, a lot of laundry, more than normal. But we wound up running out of water. And we ran out the last day as we were packing up to leave. So it wasn't a big deal. We just, had to wing it. It took a minute to figure out what the problem was, because the sink just quit working. But, if we're going to rent these cabins, that's a real problem. And even if you say, well, it'd only be 4 or 5 people at the cabin, we're not going to allow that many. People aren't there for 8 days straight. They might be. And, if people on Airbnb, you say, oh, limit 4 people, there'll be 6. Limit 6, there'll be 8. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. So we got to do something for a little more water. So the back of the cabin right now, the width of the screen porch, and that's the full width of the cabin plus the depth of the screen porch. So we're probably 24, 34, 40 plus the angle and the overhangs. Might be 45 feet of roof, 16, 18 feet wide, that drains into a gutter and shoots off in the creek. So I've got a tank on behind me. I don't know if you guys can see it through the back window here. It's raining, kind of miserable, but I'm going to put this tank behind the cabin next to the screen porch, and Ray is going to run a downspouts. We're going to repitch the gutter the other way because it currently drains on the south corner. We want on the north corner, and we'll keep this tank sealed off so that it can fill up from that downspout. It'll have its own overflow into the creek, and it won't go into the other tank unless you run out. There'll be a quick connect hose to a PVC pipe that runs under the cabin and picks up the back downspout that does go into the front tank. You'll be able to connect that, turn the valve, drain that tank into the other one, shut it back off so it can fill independently. And I think that'll get the job done. If it doesn't, when you have a guest that says, hey, we just drained the auxiliary tank into the main one, we shut the valve and it's empty. If it doesn't rain soon and fill it back up, then maybe you got to get some water trucked in. But boy, I think this, I can't see a situation where you're going to use that much water. When we did run out, it was excessive use and an exceptionally dry time, the driest it's been in the 2.5 years that we've been coming there. But it's not to say it couldn't happen. I think this will be the difference. Ray and I are here loading up. We had everything loaded on the trailer and then realized that I have 2 broken leaf springs on the trailer. This one here. So we are moving everything off of that trailer onto this other one. Glad that we found this here and not halfway to Kentucky. Both sides. Got her all loaded up. Just had to switch trailers. We decided to lay the tank down instead of standing it up in the front. This is actually a better option. This trailer, they got the same weight rating, but this one's a little heavier duty. That treated lumber on there weighs a lot. That's about 2,500 pounds of lumber, and we got about, 400 or 500 pounds of other cargo. Not a lot for these trailers. They're 7,000 pound trailer, but it's good to know we're not overdoing it. right, so Ray got this tank hooked up. I kind of wanted to explain how it works. I think it's somewhat self-explanatory. Right now, this is not its permanent home. We're actually going to pour a pad over here that'll be nice and flat and a little bit higher. And then this tank will sit level on top of it. But you can see we got the downspout going off and filling the tank up. This hose is an overflow that runs out in the creek. And down below there is a valve with a 2-inch threaded fitting on the end. So if you look over here, you can see, because there's snow melting off the roof, this run here, we've got this downspout coming off the gutter. That actually goes into the big main tank underground in the front. But we put this port on it there, which is also the same 2-inch fitting that's on the tank over here. And you can see right under there is a section of sump pump hose. So that when this is up on the block, if we run out of water in the main tank over there, we can go ahead and hook the hose between there and down here, open the valve, and we have 1,000 gallons of water in that tank in reserve that'll fill the other one up. Once it's full, shut the valve and let it fill up again, as well as the other one, and we now have a total of 2,500 gallons of water instead of just the 1,500 we had before. Should work pretty good. So I hope this doesn't flip over on me, but the footage you guys saw of Ray installing this would have been early December. It is now mid-January, so I actually finished that trip doing plumbing in this tank. I came back with my girls like just after Christmas, over New Year's, and this was about half full. I think the downspout, the top was kind of missing it a little bit, so it's been reinstalled to be a little more accurate. Like I say, we're going to pour a pad here, get this thing up and get it level so it doesn't look like it's going to fall over, but that's full. Right there's 900. This has got every bit of 1,000 gallons in it right now. This will be really great. I'm pumped. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. There will be more on this once we get the pad there, and maybe sometime when we're here we'll need to use it. If not, that's fine too. But it's nice to know we have a little bit of backup. The most we've ever done was 8 guys here for 8 days. Mike had been here 2 or 3 days before us. We were in a drought. We were demoing the other cabin. Everyone was hot and sweaty and covered in insulation, and we ran out of water. It's never been a problem any other time. That amount of water is a good amount for us. Usually rains while we're here, recovers real quick. But my fear is if we get another drought like that, there's guests staying here, renting it. Somebody shows up right after another group was here with no rain. What are they going to do? At least this way. This is probably for a group of 4 or 5 a week's worth of water just in this tank alone. So we can empty it, and then if it rains, great. If it fills it all up, great. If we have to get water trucked in or do something more drastic in a time of drought or close the cabin to the next guests, this will buy us a week to make a decision on what to do. So I'm pumped. Again, thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.